Today, a meeting on hurricane preparedness. 16 WAPT's Hadass Brown is live in Flow with the details. Good morning, Hadass.
Hey, Adam, good morning. Yeah, that meeting is happening here in Flowood this morning. The American Red Cross of Mississippi is hosting it, and as you said, they are talking hurricane preparedness. Now, this meeting comes as we're about a week into hurricane season. It goes until November 30th, and as everyone from MEMA to, of course, our own weather team will tell you, now is the time to make sure you are prepared. Strong storms on everyone's minds this year as August marks 10 years since Hurricane Katrina killed over 1,000 people on the Gulf Coast and in New Orleans. That meeting for hurricane preparedness happening here on Riverbend Place in Flowood at 10 o'clock. Live in Flowood, Hadass Brown, 16 WAPT News.
Well, the city of Jackson has voted to buy a new pothole patching machine. The city says they're going to tackle heavy traffic areas first and then move into residential neighborhoods. Councilman DeKeither Stamps says the new $240,000 pothole patching machine will be more effective in the long run.
Taking a shovel and dumping some asphalt in the ground is not too effective. It washes back out. There are more technologically advanced processes in place to do that. This is a one-man operation. You put the asphalt in the back, it drives over it, covers it up, moves on. It's faster and more efficient.
The city says the money is coming from the water sewer funds. There's no word yet on when they plan on buying the machine. Marcus, several people face charges for cheering during a high school graduation.
Yeah, they do, Keegan. This all happened last month in Tate County at Senatobia's high school graduation. Officials told everyone to hold their applause until the end of the ceremony, but the superintendent says 4 people cheered during the ceremony. 3 of them were identified. They're charged with misdemeanor public disturbance, which carries a fine of up to $500 and 6 months in jail. And this brings us to our Facebook question of the day. What are your thoughts on cheering at graduations? Christina says, I think it should have been over at being asked to leave. I do not think it's an arrestable offense. And Ray had this to say, graduation is about the students, not these arrogant, petty administrators and politicians and other blabbermouths looking for attention. Again, it is about the students. Stop sucking all of the joy out of the graduation for them. Let us know what you think on our Facebook or our Twitter page. The Postal Service will honor the king of rock and roll with a forever stamp. Elvis will go on the stamp as part of the U.S. Postal Service Music Icon series. Other musicians in the series include Johnny Cash, Ray Charles, and Janis Joplin. The new Elvis stamp is due out in August. Well, Keegan, the city of Jackson is remembering a well-known businessman who passed away.
Marcus' friends and family are remembering the life of 69-year-old Al Joyner. He died early Wednesday morning after 5 weeks in the hospital. Joyner became ill after returning home from a Caribbean cruise. His brother is national radio personality Tom Joyner. People remember Joyner as a generous businessman, the owner of several Jackson-area McDonald's franchises. The philanthropist used his wealth to help countless students.
He also offered scholarship opportunities to a number of students within the Jackson community.
He wasn't looking for any praise, but just to help this community be a better place to live. And so we're going to miss somebody that just took such an interest in all the people of the city of Jackson and the surrounding area.
Joyner survived by his wife, 2 sons, and 2 daughters. In Commitment 2016, former Texas Governor Rick Perry will officially announce today that he's running for president once again. Perry will make that announcement at an airport in Addison, Texas. His website was updated early this morning with presidential campaign logos and branding. It'll make him the 10th Republican candidate vying for the White House. There are 3 Democrats running so far. Final services for Beau Biden begin today. The vice president's oldest son will lie in honor today at the Delaware Senate chamber. There will be a procession from Wilmington to Dover. A viewing is set for Friday, followed by a funeral mass on Saturday. President Obama will deliver a eulogy. Beau Biden died Saturday. The 46-year-old was battling brain cancer. A 2012 capital murder case could soon be headed to trial. A Hinds County judge says the suspect charged with beating a welder to death is fit to stand trial. Prosecutors say David Thomas and John Tez Garvis attacked Fred Jackson more than 3 years ago. Surveillance video shows the suspects at Trimis Recycling in 2012. Investigators say they beat Jackson into a coma. He later died from his injuries. Jackson's daughters say they are ready for this case to move forward.
You know that he was the last one that actually touched your daddy. You know that he's the one that actually put his hands on your daddy and killed him. And it's hard to see him and look at him in the eyes. And knowing that here 3 years later, he can still see his family. But we can't see our daddy.
Even if they're convicted, that will bring some closure, but I mean, there is no justice in this. It doesn't matter what sentence they get.
Both suspects are charged with capital murder. There's no word yet, though, on a trial date. Sentencing now for a man convicted in a fatal shooting in Brookhaven. A Lincoln County judge gave David Jones 22 years in prison for manslaughter and aggravated assault. Prosecutors say he had a shootout with Darian Reese in 2013. Reese died. Another man in this case, Kevin Collins, was sentenced last month to 20 years in prison. Camera, Marcus, a black bear in central Mississippi.
Yeah, that's right, Keegan. It was spotted in Simpson County. And to take a look at the photo we have right here, it's kind of grainy, but you can make out that black bear. A trail camera picked up this image. A 16 WAPT viewer sent us the photo. He says the bear appeared first on May 24th and then again Sunday night. State wildlife officials say there are about 100 black bears in Mississippi, but it is unusual to see them in this part of the state. Happening tonight, finally, after a long 8-day break, the NBA Finals will get underway. The Cleveland Cavaliers face the Golden State Warriors in Oakland. Coverage begins right here on 16 WAPT at 8 o'clock tonight. This is the Warriors' first trip to the Finals in 40 years. They are led by league MVP Steph Curry. Cleveland making their first Finals appearance in 8 years. However, this is the 5th Finals in a row for four-time MVP LeBron James. All right, to our ISIS threat coverage, and Keegan, the new fears of homegrown terrorism.
Marcus, investigators say a so-called lone wolf in Boston is the latest case. As ABC's TJ Holmes explains, the FBI is now looking for more ISIS supporters.
Authorities learned just how close Usama Rahim may have been to attacking or even beheading police officers in Boston. 25-year-old David Wright, Rahim's nephew, was charged with conspiracy Wednesday. The FBI said Wright aided Rahim, who was shot and killed by officers in this Boston parking lot after lunging at them with a knife. Surveillance video of the deadly confrontation was shown to community and religious leaders in Boston.
He wasn't shot in the back.
According to the criminal complaint, Rahim told Wright about the knife in a cell phone conversation, allegedly saying, "I just got myself a nice little tool, good for carving." Wright later telling Rahim something was like thinking with your head on your chest, as both men laughed, a reference the FBI believes to beheading propaganda videos like the ones made by ISIS. Right now, the FBI is investigating hundreds of potential ISIS sympathizers in all 50 states.
We are monitoring them very closely for any type of action, any type of overt steps, any mobilization factors. And when we see those, we're not taking the chance.
Many ISIS supporters around the world share communication in public view on sites such as Twitter, but some are using social media platforms and dark sites that allow them to shield their messages from authorities. The White House sharing those concerns.
There is an opportunity for us, in the mind of the president, to work with the tech sector on this. The threat that he's particularly worried about is sort of the lone wolf threat.
TJ Holmes, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, Ode to Billy Joe. Our Bert Case explains how an iconic date in music history is tied to Mississippi. And let's take a live look outside at the River City from our Vicksburg Skycam. A nice sunrise is about to be underway. We're wondering, though, about any rain chances with the weekend coming up. Adam McWilliams is here with your full forecast right after the break. It's 5:41. You're watching 16 WAPT News.